Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World Championships. I'm excited, Chance. I'm so excited.
I can tell.
Our entire year has been waiting for this one event. It's finally here, and of course, it's underway. We have a couple of days of pool play, then we'll get to bracket play for the weekend. But Benson and Chance here to guide you through the action for the next couple of games. And the first one, you said, might actually be one of the closer games from the day.
I mean, so already that's kind of out the window. Like, as soon as Fuego beats Gen G, everything's kind of out the door. But the expectation on the day is there is a ton of these second seed versus 3 seed teams. And is that 3 seed going to be good enough to pull off that upset?
Right.
And obviously, it can extend a little bit further than that. But Mazer's a very good team. I mean, 3 of these players at the start of the year just qualified for the Pro League. So, like, they have players on this team that have a ton of Pro League experience. These are going to be household names. And on the flip side for units, 3 of the players on the team, well, they came in at the very end of the year, but didn't originally earn that spot.
Well, we've had a little bit of European success so far here in the first day. We see maybe that spiral through as you mentioned, the 3rd seeds trying to cause upsets and really change bracket play completely. You go back last year at the Call of Duty World Championship there. I'm sure many fans will remember just the absolute chaos that happened on the final day of pool play. It was a little ridiculous. Upsets do happen, and they happen at the biggest event, but we're underway. Frequency hardpoint, map number 1, Mazer versus units. Units inside the hill, and also pushing out looking for the kills.
It's something we have to keep in mind when we're talking about these 2 teams. There is not a plethora amount of information for either one of them. Units have had, I think, 5 series on LAN together as this team. You don't really get too much because they've played every map at best 2 times.
Yep.
Maybe in the scrims in the past couple weeks, they find new strengths, and the same thing can be said for Mazer. They haven't been a team for that long, but I do like the idea for units for this first map pick. I'm thinking Frequency, I'm thinking Sogs, and in my mind, when I think it's Spacely and Jet Li, both good players, yes, but not slay-heavy Sog guys. So this is a map that I think units was just calculated. Let's try to take the Sogs down. Let's play them on Frequency.
Also a map a lot of teams in practice, scrims, run 3 subs at times, and I mean, hell, we saw it at playoffs as well. It'd be one of those maps where you can just be so aggressive. As it stands, though, it is units with the lead, 35-10. Hardpoint still contested at P2 as Rated fights for the spawns. He's going to secure them as his teammate Weeman spawns behind him. Put pressure on the good side of the map.
Yeah, and they're just making it look clean and easy right now. Of course, Barzillion wins the gunfight over Rated, but the rotations in the hill were good for units. The gunfights, though, they were all Mazer. 30 seconds left on the hill. This is a ton of good time for them to get, but now the AR battle goes the way of Rated this time around, taking down Barzillion, and units want to take one more crack at it. The nade, though, it's going to slow them down, and at this point, they're already thinking about that rotation.
Yep, may as well chalk up the final 15 seconds. One thing you have to be careful of, though, is Mosh is getting a little close towards some streaks. 335 away. He's able to pick up a couple of kills in rotation. That will aid him. Joe's going to get caught. 235. Try and get to the hill quick enough. There's going to be a couple of players there, so just throw the trophy. Wait a little bit of time. Need some support here. You're looking for teammates to bait for him. Try and get him a little closer towards that light.
I mean, even still, just one man in the hill. If he's not going to get the streaks, he does chew away a little bit of time. And Apox, it just takes the one nade. His teammate already had the trophy for him, but he gets a terrible bounce. And, well, now he's just trying to bait.
And the problem was, Apox was 50 away from streaks as well. So you actually had 2 players very close to streaks. Neither wanted to bait for one another. With one falling, Apox now really looking to try and secure that first streak. Rated tagged up. EKA would be enough. He's not going to get it just yet. Still holding from you.
Nobody in the hill for the moment. The lightning strike eventually does come through, so they gave away a little bit of time to make it happen to get the score streaks, but he's gonna get both, and frankly, only gave away a little bit of time. They were able to take about 10 seconds down to go, but units feeling pretty good so far with the score line. Apox, that means he's gotta get a good use out of lightning, has to get a good use out of the Hellstorm to be able to take that lead.
As it stands, to your point, units still with a lead, about 40 points, just less than. But, as you rightfully said, the streaks could come into play as Rated goes for a bit of a pinch. You can see Mazer forced to turn around, but how much damage can Rated really do? He's found 2, there's number 3. The assist comes through, Joe helps him out with the fight. And units freeze on into the final hill of the first rotation.
And they just made that look easy. You have players on Mazer that started turning around and worry about quite a bit, and I said you got to get a good use out of the lightning and the Hellstorm. Well, now they're forced to use them in a bad position just to try to get clearance on the hill. It does pan out for them, so use the streak, get a little bit of time, so not the be-all, end-all, but units even still 22 seconds left are thinking about taking one more crack at it. You can see, though, getting no love. Barzillion been very good this game about bouncing between the ICR and the Maddox. Of course, for this hill, you want the ICR.
Rated should pick up the final 10. Units keep that lead. It's by no means a comfortable cushion, though. Head up towards the second rotation of hills. A couple of players will fall on rotation from Units, so it will give Mesa at least the early time. Question though, how long can they hold on to it in terms of specialists? What's in play? Not much, but Apex does have the Hellstorm that he wants to drop. He's already previously used the Lightning and he was 75 away from more streaks. That was why he opted to use it there. Not the ideal time or position to do so, but unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to re-end streaks.
Units right now, they're just playing very controlled. You're thinking about the grab slam as well. There's so many bodies around. Jet Li going to be able to clean 3 of them up, and now you got to surge and go get some of that map control. Units, they are all spawning on the correct side, but 25 seconds left. This just means Apox has to push a little bit far enough that when Units players die, they're going to spawn in the back. These gunfights are huge. Spacely wins the first. It should force that spawn out. Number 6 is in the back. Maze right now putting in some work.
This is very, very well played so far to really give themselves the lead and come back into this game. Scrap time is theirs. That's really not the big worry. It's that fight right there that Jet Li could have really done with winning. He's unable to do so, so spawns temporarily should go in favor of Units. If they're able to find maybe 1 or 2 more kills, Jet Li's gonna look like he falls, but it's Apox inside the hill, surging out. He gets traded out. An unfortunate little fight there for a wee man. Parzulian finds himself a double, but still Units with the spawn.
Yeah, a little bit surprised Mazer wasn't able to completely lock down the spawns, get enough bodies in the back, but at the same time, you can hold it for the front. The Tempest actually does not chain. Parzulian stays alive. He's trying to get streaked out. He gets the double beat down. He eventually gets Tempested, and Wee Man does force himself through the hill. But I will say, Mazer had a nice little set of rotations, and they should be good for the next set of spawns.
And this is a really important decision now for Mazer. You don't necessarily even have to push this. You do not want to start spawning out on rotation. It's 30 seconds. You've given yourself the lead. Now with Units pick up the scrap time, you're still going to have the advantage, and you're going to be set up. But look at number 2, Mosh. He spawned over towards the old hill, and honestly, I think Joe's misplayed that. I don't think he even needs to kill him there. In all honesty, that's one of those situations where you could have just ran away.
Well, at the same time, Joe at least is going to have the grab slam, so if you get the curl early on, when you're back, you're going to have to make the big play. It's either going to be the grab, or maybe if Rated can get the flames on board, they're going to need one of the two, because right now, Mazer, they got the full setup. They got a player watching elbow, 3 bodies in and around the hill. They're solid right now, Ben.
It's that man Apox again working towards streaks. He's successfully got them once, almost got them the second time. Now, a teammate to bait. Can he get it the third? Unfortunately, no, not gonna happen. Joe shuts him down, and Units fly back into the hill.
Yeah, the bait game has been a bit of a struggle for Mazer, maybe just playing a little bit too passive to try to get the streaks. And granted, earlier on, successful. But this time, again, I mean, you get the full setup on the hill, and it gets broken very quickly. For Units, they're going to be very happy because they didn't even have to invest the grab slam or the purifier to get on through, which means, well, Joe has it now. Should he need to use it, well, on the eventual retake, because Mazer has that early control.
Rated 255 away from streaks of his own. He'll rotate. Needs to be patient. Teammates are with him. Mazer have a very, very small lead. It's been a back and forth hard point so far. Up goes Joe, grab slam through, only finds 1, but is it enough to open the door for Rated to get the streaks? He's found 2. 5 points will do it. Even the hill time will be enough. Rated may have just got streaks for Units at the absolute perfect time.
And it's going to be a beautiful setup as well. 30 seconds left. They're going to be poised to get quite a bit of this time. You got the cutoff man in Cammy. Well, he does get shut down, but now Rated knows exactly where the pressure is going to be coming from. The pressure was overwhelming, but he locks in the Hellstorm as well. And honestly, 20 seconds left. I was going to say, yeah, you can just call one of them in to force him out. The Hellstorm does exactly that. So Units end up getting the scrap time anyway. They get 5-man drop, and they're still right back inside the hill. That's a nice little stretch.
Looking now at how can you break in towards the new hill as it rotates. Rated has his specialist. Also still have a lightning strike. That's about it. You're going to rely on your weapons. Really, for the most part, Parzulian, he will fall. Joe shuts him down. Rated is edging closer towards the hill. It's a 17-point lead. Over 2.5 minutes still to go on the overall game time clock. Thought about throwing the nade, decided against it, but now he's by himself inside the hill. He's going to need a little bit of support. His teammates all falling. Rated to try and make the big play. Not going to happen. Mazer should take the lead.
And you actually sent a player all the way on the flank. I think Cammy went for it, but that's honestly just going to force units to spawn out. So you take your time to try to break the hill. You let one guy flank, but now you lose spawn. So number 6, Joe, he's got to play his life on one side of the map. Meanwhile, there's gunfights just straight up going on inside of the hill, but Mazer got the 20-point lead. Now you got Spacely that's going to be fully streaked out. And if it comes down to this, if Mazer wins this rotation in the next hill, they're going to be able to win this game with all the streaks, all the utility. Joe's got to be the hero man for units.
I mean, Rated getting streaks was huge. Spacely getting them there is even bigger. You can wait for one streak to come through, and you have the extra one in your back pocket. Joe trying to hold down the spawns, but this is where you need to rely on Rated to maybe use that lightning strike, assist Joe with kind of holding the spawns. Now at least he's blocking the spawns. Units aren't spawning in. Marsh is going to have to fall. Spacely invests the first. Rated immediately invests the lightning. 3 players go down. Units should be in a decent position, but now it just comes down to getting all the time.
I can't believe they never found Joe. You talk about the hero man, and you got Rated that's been sitting on the flames for quite some time. It is perfect for the 3rd hill on this map over towards blue, so if he can save it for that, he's going to be very happy.
Oh,
you
no.
got Spacely that's killing all of his teammates with the lightning strike. Mazer will not be able to get any time on the 2nd hill. They're going to have to hold the 3rd, and again, you got Rated with the flames to make the play.
That's the key. You can't win it here if you're units. You're going to get the final 10 seconds. You will have the lead, but it is a small one. Mazer will be ready and waiting, set up. There's nothing else really available for units outside of Rated in the fire break. Does he even want to invest it? That's a decision he's going to have to make very, very soon. Because Mazer are inside the hill. The spawns are being blocked right now thanks to Rated winning the gunfight against Parzilian at the back. Units in a good position to break.
Units, just the spawn mastery in the past 2 hills has been great, but now you got to get inside. Nolson's going to find 2. Jolt with the next 2, and you get the flames set up inside of the hill. Units can absolutely win this here, and frankly, if you're Mazer, I mean, they're taking their time to go on the full flank. Wee Man's watching with an ICR. He finds 2. The flames find 2. They get everything, the wipe, and those spawns for Mazer so far out. Units stole this game, grabbed it from, well, maybe not the depths of hell, but they were down by quite a bit.
That was a really smart play as well from Rated to recognize, all right, let me actually push out with the Purifier. I don't want to sit and wait. Don't want to absorb unnecessary pressure, give away map control, pushes straight through, finds a couple of kills. I think he ended up getting 3 overall. But a great map 1 out of units. To your point, it was very back and forth, to be completely honest with you, but the last few hills, the spawn control from units was just that much better. Joe did such a good job of just blocking the spawns and staying alive. Also, I don't think you can really forget the score streak out of Spacely. The lightning strike kills 2 of his teammates, does find 1 of the opposition, but just not the best use.
I mean, in my mind, like, obviously it's champs. All the teams that are here are going to be good. And especially in Call of Duty, it's not like rotations are difficult. You understand spawns, but something that separates good teams from great teams, it comes down to communication of how many guys have we killed? Who are we missing on the map? You listen to some of the best teams in the world, their communication, it is constant. We have killed 4. Where's number 5? Who is it? Joe sat in the back of the map on that 2nd hill for 20, 30 seconds before he took a gunfight. Mazer had the full setup on the hill. They never bothered to turn around and actually look for it. They might have checked it for a moment, but Joe hadn't taken a gunfight for 30 seconds. They never identified that issue. Eventually, they get wiped out. Now Joe's locking down the spawns for his team, and that's what spiraled the comeback.
Plus, you should know that's Joe's playstyle, too. Right?
Exactly.
Joe's played like that for a very, very long time, being kind of the sneaky player, the player who's not necessarily going to make the play by getting kills, but he's going to make the play for the team and give them the best chance of winning. So definitely a bit of a mistake out of Mazer there. But kind of pushing a little bit further, like in terms of the future for not only necessarily just the pools, but also this series. I mean, before we talk about the rest of this series, we will take a look at the pools, though. I mean, there's a look at how the group stands so far. A couple of games already done. United Celtic, they both won their first game. Congrats to them. E6 and Fuego. That group, I said it was a group of death. That group is now, it's just petrifying. It's just very, very scary. There's a whole different weird combinations, host of combinations that could happen out of Pool B. That's definitely one you want to keep your eyes on. Of course, for Pool C and Pool D, no games played just yet. Only in our 2nd set of games here at the Call of Duty World Championship. But yeah, the big storyline so far, Fuego Gaming, Game 5 against Gen G, and take it.
I mean, that's looking like the pool if we get some sort of crazy tiebreaker situation. But even for Group C, like, keep in mind, Units and Mazer, this is almost certainly, it's at least intended to be the battle of whoever wins this is going to make it out. Obviously, a lot of Call of Duty to be played. Animosity could pull off some crazy upsets. Yeah. Maybe FaZe could even falter there. You know, until the Call of Duty is finished and the series are written down, but the expectation is the winner of our current series is going to make it out. And like that map one in my mind for Mazer, that's going to be a tough one to bounce back from because they had that game in their hands to kick off champs with a nice win against a pro league team to get the ball rolling, and instead Units, they're happily laughing at their 1-0 lead.
How does the series look, though, heading into kind of the future here? You obviously have the search and destroy, the control. Are there any numbers that jump out to you?
I mean, again, the issue for the numbers in this situation is incredibly limited information for both of the teams.
Sure.
Units have only played 5 series on land together. It's not like these guys, I don't think we're scrimming each other. I know Mazer scrimmed E6 a little bit, so they got a little bit of pro league team experience before coming in the tournament, but they didn't scrim Units at all. How much are they really going to know? So going into the next map, I'm pretty sure it is Mazer's pick. But again, how much information can you really glean off of that? Of course, means they need the bounce back win. Going down 2-0 is going to be maybe not insurmountable, but not too far from it. So they're going to need the win and maybe slightly favored since it's their map day.
I mean, hopefully. We'll wait and see, of course. We love a good close series, maybe some game 5s along the way. We have, what, 4 series today?
Yes, we do.
4 game 5s, so it could be pretty interesting. But we head over to Gridlock Search and Destroy as our game 2. Mazer currently 1-0 down. Can they keep it close? To your point, you don't want to go 2-0 down, especially not to a team like Units. Should be able to close it out in 3, but we shall see. As the map loads up, excited to get game 2 underway.
And of course, for Search and Destroy, I think Spacely's been a big talking point for S&D because when he was in the league, he's undefeated, right? He hasn't lost his Smirch map against some of the best teams in the world, against all of the best teams in the world, at least from the league. Obviously, he hasn't been in there the entire time, but you find yourselves down 1-0 in the series. You need the Search and Destroy for the bounce back. You're looking at a guy like Spacely to lead them to that victory.
Genji could have done with in that game 5. Keep that stat going. Instead, Spacely finds himself 2 kills already. And round number 1 here for Mazer. It's the 3 versus 1. Nelson last man up for Units.
Of course, Nelson, there's really not much he can do. He's going to get spotted as well. The triple challenge should come in, and even if he was able to find his second, man number 3, Spacely, was in the background. So dominating first round. It's the bounce back Mazer needs. He talked about Spacely needing to lead his team to the victory. Well, he's got the best play in 2 kills to boot, and really just systematic. Get the slide timing right, identify the guy in showers, and pick him off. And you see the trades coming in on Cammy as well. Clean. Didn't even take a bullet.
Very clean. Well executed. A little bit of bait and a switch at the end there from Spacely. Finishes round 1, 2-0 up, but more importantly for him, Mazer win round 1 as well. As Units go onto the attacking side. Just off the rip, it looks as if they're going to put a lot of resources over towards B. Everyone but 1 player, that's going to be rated number 8 on the minimap. He's watching the flank, and tell you what, there's a very fast push coming in straight through bottom middle. Rated's going to have a lot of work to do here short.
Got 1 free kill in front of him. He should have spotted the second player to get to post because you can see his teammates are actually looking for him. Spacely just committed. Spacely completely ignored Rated in the back, was hoping he found a hole to get through, but the information from Units was there. The flank watch was perfect from Rated. Now you got yourselves a 4 versus 2.
This is very smart. Joe has decided to hold over towards B while his teammates rotate back out. If you're Mazer now, it's a guessing game as to exactly what is going on, but Joe has been able to set up a flank just because of the rotation that has come through here from Mazer. He has to be quick, though. He needs to get this timing spot on.
I mean, as soon as they make any noise, he just can come sprinting in. Mazer players have literally no idea. Here it is. Apox gets a kill, and it doesn't make a difference. A perfect plan from Joe. And honestly, from start to finish, that round was about as flawless as you could ask for, right? Rated, he knew exactly where he wanted to be. Right off spawn. Don't mess around. He didn't play mid-map for information. Just said, I got the flank. No one has to worry about it. Calls out 2. And then everyone knows about the rotation game in Search and Destroy in Black Ops 4. They show 1 bomb site, then you wrap it to the other. The defense team just mirrors that effectively on their side of the map. Joe played around it perfectly.
And very smart. Very, very good fundamental round from Units, but Mazer back on the attack now. I'm going to be pushing over towards Zay. They've left the player Marsh mid-map to watch any pressure, but there's going to be nobody there. First blood comes in for Genji, though. Spacely slides out. It's almost deja vu from round number 1 for him. The exact same move, the exact same result. Finds himself a pick. assist Jet Li as he shuts down Rated. Now it's Nelson for the 1v4.
And honestly, he got the cluster, but there's effectively nothing he can do. The faster he gets off the map or dies, honestly, probably the better, just to prevent everybody else from earning their trophies and nades and whatever else utility they have for the next round. But another round where it's won just because of the inner on showers. It's basically just gets the timing to kill the man that units, for some reason, 2 rounds in a row, have just left by himself. Like, you got Wee Man with the ICR that's outer showers, and that's great. But they are leaving the gaping wide hole in the map of just inner showers, not doing anything about it, and Spacely has exposed them twice.
3 attacking rounds played, 3 attacking rounds won. And the trend continue. Units will go on the attack. Last attack for them, it was a B Street push, and then a quick rotation out towards A. Joe was able to flank, found himself the final 2 kills of the round. Is it going to be the same here? Well, it looks as if the answer to that is yes. The only difference is, rather than Rated watching the back of the map, he's actually pushed over towards A. He has shot as well. Is it enough to force a rotation out? It may have just been the perfect bait.
I think it is. I mean, you got players right now from Mazer that are at least going back house, so maybe not a bait that completely buys in the rotation from Mazer, but you get the bomb down for free. Rated is back to his spot watching the flank, where, keep in mind, Mazer doesn't even know where that spot was.
Right.
They just know he was in the back somewhere, so it's the 5-man retake, and they're scared to flank.
And rather than Rated actually staying at the back, they've decided to push through mid-map. Joe will shut down space. There's a lot of chaos over towards the bomb side, but Nelson finds himself a double, and that will be the round over and done with. Units tied up, 4 out of 4 for the attacking team.
And this is just, well, I have an answer for what Units needs to do on defense, right?
Okay.
If they want to defend on A and you got a guy playing mid showers, you just need an extra Maddox player to watch inner showers. You put Wee Man on the outer. That wasn't, no, he didn't get the clap, did he?
I think he did, because he got 2 kills in the kill feed.
Interesting. Okay, nice stuff there. I'm very sad that we missed it when it happened, but either way, like, I have the answer for Units. Watch inner showers, but for Mazer, they've just been getting picked apart. They have more problems on defense than the opposition, but you can see that Units, they're responding to the pressure by just having one guy play it at this time.
Surging through mid-map, Rated will fall. The trade has to come through. Mosh has done well to stay alive, and he's also going to shut down Cammy. Mosh makes the best of a pretty awkward situation, to be fair. Takes down 2 before he himself falls. Gives the team the advantage here in a 4v3. Bomb also planted at A. Units for the 3-man retake. A pinch is set up. They need to find the kills, they need to find them quickly. Wee Man not going to be able to get anything at all. As Parzilian shuts down Nelson, it falls to Joe. The 1v4. And again, Mazer when they're attacking round.
Okay, 5 for 5 on offense.
Yep.
Man, do you have any predictions for the next rounds?
I'm probably going to go with the offensive team, Chance.
I mean, apparently. I mean, for the side of Units, well, I mean, they've just been hitting the B site, keeping Rated to watch the flank, but even then he's played it a little bit differently. Like, they've shown one basic look of being the same, but then their post-play and positioning is vastly different.
It's two different teams with 2 very different playstyles on this map, right? You can see Mazer prefer the shower fight. They pushed A every attack. On the flip side for Units, they prefer the B Street fight. It's going to come down to at what point is Mazer going to stack B Street, and if they do that, and look at that, as I'm saying it, will Units stack A? It's exactly what Units need if they're going to go for a shower push, and it's worked out perfectly.
All the information's here. You see Parzilian going for the wall bangs through the wall. He connects with at least one, so the flank is coming in from mid. Wee Man, well, he's alive. Spacely, though, he's able to find 2. By the time he gets traded, Parzilian, maybe through a wall, maybe with a nice line of sight, well, gives his team the man advantage.
And here's the big problem. Bomb is down at A. Not planted, but needs to be retrieved, picked up by Cammy and Rated. Parzilian, Apox, and Mosh up for Mazer. This is the first time there's been a real big advantage for the defensive side. And whether that advantage may disappear. Cammy was in a fight. They picked up Bomb, but by no means are they close. Someone's going to have to win a 1v2, and it looks like it's going to have to be Cammy.
They're very split right now, so there's a lot of potential. He might end up just catching them on the rotation. Rated hasn't spotted out anything. The issue for him is he might get killed while playing the bomb, and Cammy, as soon as he starts to make the move, he's behind enemy lines, but who's going to spot first? It's going to be Mosh. Knows the next player's up top. You got a 2v2, but only 15 seconds.
Oh, Cammy may get super lucky here. He's going to find the second. He delayed it so much, but with 11 seconds, Rated has to plant the bomb. And unfortunately for Cammy, I don't think he realized that it wasn't the same person he hunted down. Parzilian cherry picks a kill onto Rated. Cammy will have no chance of hunting him down. And Mazer break the trend. They you win a defensive round despite Cammy's best attempt.
Oh, that's tough too. Especially when, like, it's just you don't have information on that final guy. It's you spot one player going up in the top house, you clean him out. The last guy you're assuming is MIA, so the timing worked out great for a moment, but simply just not enough on the clock. And that is, talk about a big round for Mazer to get right there. Because if Units had stolen that away from him, that could be a bit daunting to try to make the comeback. But Mazer's happy with it. Get the defensive round win, go up 4-2. In a pretty good spot, and I'm assuming, yeah, just right back to Showers. They've been great over towards the A site. Why mix things up?
There's no need to change at all. With your Mazer, you can give yourself a 3-round cushion here with a win. Lee just jiggle peeking. A couple players over towards Showers. Just a gaping hole in the Unit's defensive strategy at Showers. It's simply not good enough. Mazer exploits this time and time again. 4 versus 2. Right to the Olsen again. Left alive, but again, forced to concede complete site control.
Keep in mind, while this was happening, Parzilian earned himself a lightning strike, and I'm assuming that means he's going to be playing for a potential Hellstorm as well. So Apox falls, the pinch is in, and Rated actually does take down Parzilian. Lightning strikes off the board, but now in the back, Rated trying to win a gunfight, but he is so weak and tagged up. Well, somehow stays alive. Nolson might have gotten through the cracks. This is a very strange 2v2. Nolson's helping his teammate. Spacing, though, reads it. He got the call out from his teammate, and that should be enough for Mazer to be able to shut this one down. Just hit him with the shot punch, a couple shoulder peeks, and find yourself with a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, the problem for Nolson was he thought he was being sneaky, hitting the flank. Little did he know the flank was being flanked as well. And Spacely got the information just in the nick of time. He was able to turn around, find a free kill on Nolson, who was unsuspecting. And of course, shuts down Rated with the shot punch. Another well-executed round for Mazer. Looks like we're going to tie things up here, Chance. One more round.
And you know, it's just they have a defensive plan that they need to rework, and they're going to have to do it quickly should we even get to like the next round, right? Because it has been either Spacely or Jet Li, the Sogs, picking them apart around that A site, like inside of Showers, one time from Tree, 2 times from just inner Showers, and 0 success. Of course, the only success Units have had in this game, well, it's on offense, and it's over at the B site. So they're back at it.
I mean, again, if you're Mazer, you know you're just going to stack. Still have to win the fights, though. Players full positive. He's invested the lightning here. It does find one. His teammates find a couple as well. So Mazer with the 1-man advantage. So 3 versus 2. This for the round. The map, of course, and to tie things up 1-1. That's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate hit marker, and Rated has been going on a flank. A lot of time has been wasted off the clock, so much so that Rated just isn't even twitchy enough to, well, check everything on the map. Like you see some of the S&D kids that are younger where they don't stop checking every single corner, every single angle, but Rated a little bit slower, leaving Olsen in the 1v3 for the game. And well, he's got a cluster grenade, and other than that, he is effectively hopeless.
Maddox, lots of player mid-map to make it a 1v1. Not even going to be able to do that. Parzilian closes him, or shuts him down, closes out the map. So we're all square. 1-1 in the series. A 6-2 victory there for Mazer.
And a very fast one as well. So we're 2 games in, and each team has won their picked map thus far. Yep. Obviously, Control, it's more of a mutual agreement of the maps you don't want to play, and then it just kind of works itself out for whatever final map ends up on board for the top team to pick from. But in my mind, this has been Mazer's series the entire time. If they had just found Joe in the back, if they just identified that one massive issue, but small moment effectively, they would have been good for the map 1. They could be up 2-0 in the series. So in my mind, Mazer has looked better so far, but the mistakes obviously have been there at least a little bit.
And we're obviously tied up at 1-1. That's everything from the first couple of maps. We'll be back after this with the rest of the series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here on Bravo, we head to a Game 3 Arsenal Control. Units of Mazer tied 1-1. But Chance, you just got an interesting word about what happened in the Envious game.
Yeah, so today's been wild. That is fair to say. Envy won the hard point against the, honestly, I can't remember the org name. The guys they're going against. But then come from map 2, Envy has a 5-0 lead.
Yeah.
And then Vivid drops 20 on him to full sail. win 6 in a row to beat Envy, which means Aches has been a part of every single full
All
sale.
of them. He's consistent at
One
least.
direction to the other, and Vivid with just a casual 20 bomb. It's champs, no big deal. Welcome to the show.
I've been saying upsets people, it's going to happen. Maybe not an upset in the series, but that's a hell of a good performance. Of course, Aaron control, round number 1. Just a massive life lead for Mazer. They have set up defensive parameters around both zones, and well, so far units unable to break through. Finally, Cammy springs into life. He finds a handful. Jet Li there to trade though, and any work that units put into at least reducing the deficit is gone almost instantly.
I mean, this is just a game of lives at this point, right? You have no real progression at either point. You got Mazer with a 7-life lead, and they got a little bit of map control as well. Yes, units were able to find a couple kills. They do identify Spacely, take him down on the flank, so they're doing a lot of little things right for the moment. You get at least a tick of point over towards A. And based on the setup, Mazer might not even want to fight for this too hard. They have one player, number 8, Jet Li, thinking about going window, maybe the full flank. And yeah, they're chalking it up. They're setting up just to defend this B point.
Extra minute added to the time. 124. 21 to 13 is a life advantage that Mazer currently have. Wraith struggling so far, 1 and 6, and there's a lot of lives to go away in the first round. Smart play from Mazer, but you have to be careful. You want to essentially get backdoored, a quick rotation from A to B. Mazer will scramble back over. Nelson's not going to be able to put the pressure on from mid-map that he would have liked. Well, Mazer now, with just 8 lives less for units, should be okay.
And right now, units, they're, I mean, down, what, all these lives? And instead of trying to group up as a team and push through, they were trying to play one guy not even aggressing in the lobby, right? Nelson's wrapping back while his teammates are taking gunfights. So they're a little bit scattered on the map. They needed a lot of work to be able to pull off a clutch. And, well, maybe here's a start. They got all 5 guys trying to come through, but Cammy's coming outside events before his teammates are here. So a little bit sloppy right now for units, but they get one more attack.
Slides through. Shut down, and well, they're down to the final 5 lives. The first tick has come through. All it takes now is another quick wave of kills, and honestly, units may be able to do this. The second tick is almost through. No one is falling. Mazer in a world of trouble as Rated picks up a double. This is a round which surely should have gone in favor of Mazer, but as they try and contest, they're just being shut down. But Parzilian now finds himself a double. There's only 2 players left. Rated has to win the fight. He gets 1, but he falls. And just like that, Spacely and APOC saved the day for Mazer, a round which had no right to even be that close. But they still clutch up and win the round.
I was gonna say, that's a little bit sloppy from both teams.
That's incredibly sloppy.
Like units, I mean, again, units, like, they put themselves in a great spot, obviously, towards the end. That is the type of play that they had to make, and I think, you know, doing it on a little earlier on is nicer, just so you actually have players coming off life on respawn. But then the retake from Mazer, I mean, one, I think it was, what, Spacely, he just goes for it. Just slides out with basically no team support on the back steps yet, and then Apox is like, I guess I have to go too, and now he's challenging a full health player when he's one shot and gets picked apart. So by the hair there, chinny chin chin, did Mazer get that first round win, but now obviously Raid's got a lightning,
that's the key, right? That's the saving grace. Yes, you don't win the round, but you do have a lightning, and on Arsenal, a lightning strike at B is just absolutely potent. As he calls it in, finds Mosh. Cammy will find a double in Vent, and that's a good start to the defensive round, but as long as it's massively comfortable, and Parzilian finding a double is going to keep the life count even.
I was going to say, they don't even get a ton of map control, really, right? Because, yes, they use the lightning, yes, they find a couple of kills, but at the same time, A is effectively wide open. So the only thing they just did was stuff a B push at the very start of the round. That's as good as it's going to get for Mazer. They're going to be incredibly happy with it. Now you got Joe with the SOG trying to win the long-range gunfight. Parzilian, well, just going to stay alive for his teammate to get the beat down. The progression today, 2 ticks have already come through. The third should fall in short order, and Spacely seems like he's finding himself a ton of kills. 11 and 6. He's had himself a very nice series so far, and he got Parzilian. Well, he was thinking about streaks, does not connect.
Close. Mazer, again, earning themselves a life cushion here. 19 as they start to assault over towards the B zone. The first tick is good. Parzilian is there to assist as well. Are ready and waiting to try and pick up a couple players on back steps. Here's the first, but unfortunately, he didn't spot Joe, and Joe's actually got himself a triple.
Yeah, Joe actually just did a really nice job of staying alive. I think the players on Mazer got a little bit ahead of themselves, a little bit too over-aggressive, and well, Didn't buy their teammates enough time to come in for the supporting cast. Either way, though, still got that 3-life lead. Have plenty of time to work with. So now you got Mazer to set up. They're trying to approach. They're watching the flank. Joe's just going to win the gunfight, and that makes things tougher because the 2 men on the split push have to deal with Joe, and he still takes 1 player down with him before he falls. Just to try to make those lives as close as possible. Unit's only down by 2.
Minute 25 still to go. Cammy pushes forward. Should have a freebie on Mosh. Keeps the life count close. Still, Unit's down 1, but in the minute 15 and push streaks available for either side. You're looking at, all right, well, what specialists are there? Nelson has earned his War Machine. Joe also with a grab slam. Invest it early. Likelihood, of course, is you'll earn it again. If this goes a little further, and it's also an important round for Units. You don't want to go 2-0 down in control.
Absolutely not. But of course, for Mazer, again, still a life lead. They can play the TDM game at this point, but Radiant just straight up evens up the odds. They've had a handful of different pushes that have been getting stuffed repeatedly. They're going to send no one through the front, maybe 3 players through lobby, 2 on the full flank. But with 42 seconds left, this is the last time you get to set up a real push. After this, it's just you got to sprint, but Spacely gets that first blood. You got 5 bodies in the back, and now I want to see you can spawn kill too. You can do either. Get the point or spawn kill these 2 players in the back.
It looks like it was going to be the option, but Nolson, he's whipped out the War Machine. It's a 5v3. Defending the zone. Units, of course, desperately need this round. 3 players, of course, from Mazer coming from the front side. Nolson will see that. Tries to put some shots down. Rated as the first line of defense. He drops. Now it's a 4v2. Also thought about maybe investing the nade. Doesn't need to. 3v1. Barring a miracle from Mosh. This is over. With just 0.5 seconds, it's over anyway. 1-1.
Oh, it's one of those fun rounds where you're like, this is the play, it's getting set up, they can spawn kill, this is actually a good concept. Oh, War Machine on the other team. Nolson has completely wiped everybody out, and the push gets stuffed. So obviously good specialist investment from Units. Finding themselves down 2-0 would be a little bit dismal, but they do hold on. Despite the fact that they use the lightning strike at the very start of that round instead of saving it towards the end.
It was weird, right? Because from Mazer's point of view, you want to bait it out and you want to get it out of the way straight off the rip. The problem was you invest it, you find a kill, and you also get another couple of kills over towards Vent. But you didn't really get the control you would have wanted. You would have loved to have seen them try and push forward, try and set up a couple of spawn kills, give yourself a massive life advantage, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it's, again, like good Call of Duty plays, but not quite great.
Right. Yeah,
good,
exactly
not
that. That's
quite
the
like
best
next level.
That's the best explanation you can really give as well. Round 3 is underway. 27-27. Man inside B. With support of 1 teammate. Now, what is the rest of Units going to do up spawn? It looks as if they're going to opt to help out over towards B. A lot of resources being sent. A couple players watching the flank. First tick is in. Take here from Mazer. It's not going to be an easy one. They may not even opt to go for it at all.
I was like saying, they're just coughing it off. Now you got, again, we see the setup where 1 man just kind of goes for it. The timing isn't quite there. Jet Li is able to find 2 though, so maybe we get caught off guard just a little bit. Comes down to 1v1 inside the hill, and Nolson just destroys Parzelian. Don't know how we pulled it off, but he gets the capture. It came down to the ICR man in the hill winning 2 close-range gunfights. But Units did it. They wanted the B point, and they got it.
Props to Nolson. He obviously used his War Machine last round. He's halfway towards another one. He's 17-9, putting up great numbers. Maybe a couple of his teammates not really able to do so, struggling. Nolson's trying to do his best, carry Units to a Game 3 victory. Crashes the popped for Mazer, so they'll have a little bit of increased health on a few of their players. I'm getting close as well to the visuals. Maybe Mosh, a Tempest. What investment will they need in this round?
Sack 5 is going to come in handy for maybe at least the first gunfight, but then Mosh goes and picks up 2. Cammy, well, the health came in clutch for the first, but it still just trades all over the map. But now over towards A, you got Mazer. The clearance kills are there. They're able to stabilize. They got the 3-life lead. And in the back pocket, should they need it, again, plenty of specialists they can use, but they want to save them if they can.
He's been hunted down. He has managed to escape. Parzelian has his visuals. Doubtful that he'll use it just yet. Maybe if things get a little dicey, he might consider Jet Li's use Grab Slam. Found a double, so the 4-life advantage remains. 12-8. Cammy looking to try and spawn trap at least a little bit. Find Space Lead the first time. Maybe able to do more damage, but unfortunately his team are all dropping closer towards the zone, so it's an 11 versus 5.
Yeah, Kimmy's doing what he can, but Deadly on the other end has just been stuffing them. So you talk about spawn kills for one side of it. You got the exact same thing going on the other. Good news for units, they were at least able to burn the crash. The bad news is if they don't kill Parzilian in the next 14 seconds, he will get score streaks. Honestly, Parzilian doesn't even need to look for the kill. He can just stay alive. If he gets the kill, that's great. If not, next round, pop Vision Pulse at the start, and you will just passively be able to get it.
I don't think he got it. I think he shot his teammate.
And shot his teammate there, but either way, he's going to be set and poised to get the streaks if he wants them. And then if you're using a Vision Pulse off the rip, I mean, if you're on offense, you should be able to at least get 2 ticks at either point if you really want it. No Lightning Strike to shut him down.
You're probably not going to go A because you know Joe has his Grav Slam. You invested yours. So it's more likely going to be what? Vision Pulse B push?
That's what I would do. I would go Vision Pulse B push, especially because you can just leave Parzilian a back trophy, put some pop shots down if you need, and then when he gets the streaks, if you need to, you're already on B, you can call him in straight away. We'll see what Mazer attempts to do, but frankly, they can do just about whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they're going to be good for score streaks, because let's just pretend that this goes to the round after this. You can get a Lightning Strike and the Hellstorm just for defense. You're going to be good to go, but you got to make sure you earn them first.
Well, Vision Pulse out. The B push. Also have a little bit of split push pressure coming through on the other side of the map. It's a smart play, but make sure you get the streak that might be earned. And unfortunately, Parzilian's not going to win the following fight, so just 1 streak. And really, not all that much control on the B side, but they do get at least the first tick a day.
He did get the Hellstorm, so he actually does have both streaks, but they did make a very big investment because he's pulling the Hellstorm in straight away, but he's able to pick up 3. He got the 5-life lead. The split pushes in. 1-man advance. Do you slide for him? Do you hang out and wait for him to come back? Parzilian's debating. He goes for the commitment. Does not win the gunfight up top because it's not an easy one to win, but Mosh was able to earn a Lightning as well. So you got progression all over the place. You got all the score streaks you could possibly want, possibly ask for. Units, I do not know how you win this round.
You don't. Yeah, I don't think you can. You still have 2 more streaks left. You're already down 4 lives, barring a lot of misplays and some miraculous specialist usage out of units. This is pretty much done and dusted. Minute 50 still to go. There's a tick into B as well. Should be damn near impossible as 4 players drop as well from units. They haven't even used their streaks yet, and now this is the problem. With players coming off spawn in quick succession, the streaks will be used. When it rains, it pours streaks. And here for Mazer, 2 Lightning Strikes back to back. The 3rd tick coming through. No one from units even close. GG game 3. Mazer go up 2-1.
And it's worth pointing out, both the ICRs for the side of Mazer were able to earn score streaks at a certain point. Parzilian had himself a very nice game. On the flip side, Nolson did make some big plays at times. And then I think it was Wee Man that finished with about 7, maybe 8 kills through 4 rounds. Not ideal from an ICR player on Arsenal.
That's not the best. And as well, whenever you talk about control, it's not necessarily just the kills, but it's also the deaths as well. You don't want to be feeding unnecessary lives away to the opposition, give them a big advantage. But you kind of brought it up heading into game 3. Feels like Mazer's just a better team.
Yes.
Really throughout this entire series. Game 1, yes, they lose it. It was back and forth. It was very close, but you felt like for the most part they were in control of that game, and they let it slip towards the end. Search and Destroy was just better, if I'm honest, and even in that game 3, it feels like they're just better. But now we head over to a game 4, another hard point where potentially units could try and extend the series and send us to a game 5.
Well, I think part of the theme for the map 1, it was kind of brought up of units knowing they want to target the Sogs from the side of Mazer. So you pick a map like Frequent Sweep, which did pan out, but the Sogs for Mazer still look pretty good the entire time as well. And again, it comes down to not identifying Joe that's in the back. So it does slip out of their hands. But now we go into, I believe, a Hacienda, which is an AR dominant map, which if you just saw the Arsenal Control, another AR dominant map, it was definitely the way of Mazer. Yes. So in my mind, it's the battle of the Sogs versus the ARs from either side of the team, where I'm expecting the ARs from Mazer to be able to tee up just a little bit better, and so far, so good.
Would you class it as an upset if Mazer was able to win this first game in their pool?
I don't know how to even phrase it.
It's not really.
It depends on who you ask, because again, there were more Pro League team players from the side of Mazer more so than the actual Pro League team from where we started at the year. Again, Mazer had 3 players that actually qualified for League. For the side of Units, it's only 2. I think they have more experience as a total as well.
Okay.
The Jet Li and Parzilian is fairly recent, so it's technically an upset because it's one pro team versus the open bracket team.
Seeding-wise, it's an
technically, but in my mind, no.
Okay.
No, it is not.
Were you expecting this, though, coming in?
Yes. I think if you were to do public polling, I think most people would have picked Mazer to win, honestly. I think the majority of the community, for at least those that have kept up with the year, probably would have made the selection for Mazer to win. Of course, it's not over yet.
Yeah, naturally, we could have a Game 5 and maybe Units could come out and win. But again, it does feel like the control of the series has been in favor of Mazer for the most part. And like you said, we head over towards a Hacienda hardpoint where you kind of bring up the difference in the maps that we saw. Obviously, a frequency map 1 favors the subs. A Hacienda, though, to your point, massively favors the ARs. And I mean, we just saw it in that last map, right? Mazer looking in full control and Parzilian shooting like that.
And I was going to say, I'm staring at Parzilian once again, because keep in mind, the way the year started for both him and Jet Li, they were on the Midnight team. It was 5 new players. We had barely seen any of all 5 of them, and they're one of the best teams in the game, one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. Parzilian's a name, I think, if you go back to last year, how many people have even heard of the guy? And all of a sudden, he's one of the best ICRs in the game. Now, that was at the very start of the year. He has been on a bit of decline, been bouncing around the rosters a little bit. Now he finds himself on the open bracket team when it's come champs time. So he's got to be the guy to return to that original form, to be the monster he was at the start of the year, especially when you give him a map where it's 4 ICRs to thrive.
And he is extremely talented. Very, very talented indeed. So
when he's at his best, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just about finding that form at the most important couple of days of his life. But no, good performance here for the Call of Duty World Championship. Can really change lives with just the amount of prize money from the line. You win and reset. But of course, many people have Mazer winning the whole event. But even so, placing in the prize money. That's a lot of money on the line.
Quite a bit. It is not a small prize pool in the slightest, but of course, adjustments being made as Units that get the first bit of time. It looks like you got Mazer with just a little bit more control. They got a little bit of hallway control, admittedly not a ton, but Parzilian sitting and waiting on the flank. He will just pre-aim for days. If you let this man L trigger, it's when he's at his best. Of course, though, the rotation Units, they are taking quite a bit of care.
Stands. Mazer will go to fight for the first hill. It's more spawn control. Rotation over towards the Lambo hardpoint. This is if a pinch is being set up. Nelson's all by himself. For Units, he's going to have to fight against a lot of resources from Mazer. There, he's done a very good job. He was able to find 2, but Marsh was just too much for him to handle. Rotation comes in. Mazer
Boss is staring at a door that the enemy can't come through, so the man jumps up from the water, but he gets chopped down, and, well, 250 off streaks. We already know what the play is going to be. Bait out your teammates, play as safe as possible in Units. I mentioned they were taking care for the rotation originally. Obviously, that doesn't pan out. Now they got to take care to not feed the streaks. They got a bunch of men coming through the front, and Cammy just instant. Slides in, wins the gunfight. Units shut the streaks down as fast as possible.
flies into the hill. He was able to find it. Being shut down. 30 seconds left. You're seeing players off spawn make that decision. What do I want to do? Razor's already rotated over towards fences, and unfortunately for Weeman, he got a very unfortunate spawn. Basically between 2 players of Mazer, so he's left just really trying to find any more rotation from well. Now the situation is, it's not going to end well for him. Backside of the map was Parzilian with the early rotation. He wasn't able to find any gunfight wins. Units with a very small lead. It does feel very similar to map number 1 already.
A little bit back and forth, go toe-to-toe, but who's the big man to earn some streaks, make the bigger plays with the specialist? What's it going to come down to? Well, no specialist on board yet, but in spite of not having the back spawns, Mazer have been able to hold on to the fences hill fairly comfortably thus far. A little bit of contest time has come in, but Parzilian, we all know, is great with the dog in hand, and by that I mean he might fall unless his teammates help him out.
Parzilian does have the support. He actually hops over the fence. Weeman was ready and waiting though. So everyone funnels in towards fence. It's still going to be contested. 15 seconds left. It's finally able to slay out. However, there's still one more player. Parzilian again off spawn. Cammy deals with him another time. Scrap time good for Units. And another very small lead.
You got Joe just waiting for his teammates. He's trying to be an annoyance while hopefully his teammates can get a little bit of control. And you can see, well, he dies over towards lobby, but that's 2 players right now for Mazer that are going to be a little bit slow for the supporting cast. And of course, now that means units are making their attack. They got players trying to jump up through the water, but Nelson is just waiting while all of his teammates are dying around him. Now he's got to sit back and wait for attempt number 2.
Nice job from Reedman slaying out towards the water side. Now jumping up there. Can he find 3? Not gonna happen. Jet Li there to shut it down. Testing once again. Mosh traded out. Units take control. Very good tank 5 there. Used at the absolute perfect time. Secured a couple of those gunfights.
And that was a very nice break as well. It seemed weird. They seemed a bit staggered at first when they had basically a 4v3 on the hill, and they were a little bit slow on trying to go for the retake. But then Nolson, instead of overcommitting and challenging, does play his life, waits for the teammates off spawn, and it does pay dividends. Now you got Joe who's got the grab slam in hand, and he can use that potentially just to earn the score streaks. 155 off. Even if he only gets a solo kill with the grab, it is worthwhile.
He's tagged up. Recognized that he wasn't really in the best position, and he doesn't want to push this side of the map necessarily. Of course, spawns for Lambo, priority towards P1. But I'm really curious. I just want to see Joe's perspective, if at all possible, because this is huge for units. Again, he needs a little bit of help. Finds 1, 55 points, all he needs. ICR out. Spots Parzelian. Not an easy fight to take. Again, Joe being so patient, so coy, play to the right, play to the left. He makes his way back over towards the hill. The 50 points is essentially free, but he doesn't want to hang out to try and get the extra time. Or does he? Slides back in, grapple at the ready, and that will be the first streak.
Most well-earned lightning strike I've ever seen. Just laying down, waiting for it to happen. But not only the lightning strike, which he can use to clear out the back, because he's got Nolson going on the flank, while a Tempest is being caught out from inside the hill. But Tempest introduced to the grab slam. He takes himself down, but he shuts down a couple players as well. And Nolson, meanwhile, in the back, locking down the spawns. A perfect break from the units.
Joe, the playmaker, the last hill and a half. Weeman pulls out the Tempest. It's his turn to try and go big. Thanks to 2 shots already with the Tempest. He was last man up for a brief moment. He himself working towards some streaks. 20 points, all he needs. Hill time will do it. There's plenty of time left. And still a couple of shots left. 4 to be precise in the Tempest. More streaks earned for units. They're in the driving seat here in Game 4.
Joe is, by no stretch of the imagination, the absolute saving grace for his team right now. It was the exact same thing in the frequency where they were in a bad spot. Joe makes the big play. Here, they weren't in a bad spot. They were in a fine spot, but then Joe just kind of takes over. He was 155 points off the streaks, and that lasted for, what, solid 45 seconds for him to play all over the map to earn it, dipping and diving and doing whatever he needs. Now he's got the lightning strike to kill 3. He made sure his teammates were in the back to get the tin control. Just funnel those players on Mazer into bad gunfights, and of course, Weeman earned the streaks as well. And then map 5. I think we're going to be taking a visit here shortly.
Where are we headed to?
Arsenal. Going back to Arsenal.
5 search and destroys. Not over yet, but a 100-point lead and still extra streaks on the side of units. Should see us go to our first Game 5 here at World Championships. These are inside the hill. There's only 14 seconds left. We can almost use those streaks as a contingency plan. Hit the panic button if necessary, and you have at least a free break of a hill. Units already rotating over towards the final hill. And this rotation, pushing out the spawns either side, feels almost inevitable.
They had just such a wide map spread. They had 2 players over by Lambo. They got number 4, Tammy, that was pushed up the other side of the map. So everyone's going to be coming in through mid, but that is a very tiny doorway that you see Nolson and Weeman at least get a ton of shots through. But instead, that tiny little doorway, Mazer just waltzed straight through. And, well, now you got Jet Li with the lightning. And you got control of the hill.
There's surely no way. 2 streaks earned. Have to be response streaks on the side of units. Best of 1, that was the Hellstorm. Mazer try and slide in. Joe with 2, rated with 2. Old duo, back at it again. Can't win it here, your units, but you can put it damn near out of reach as Jet Li is forced to use lightning. Scrap time still in favor of units, though. Just need 17 seconds.
All that setup we had for Mazer. No, it's not an upset. Yada, yada, yada. Most people would pick them just for units to come out and mollywop them in the Hacienda. We're talking they need 14 seconds on the next 4 hills they get to work with. Even if Mazer plays perfectly, keep in mind, even if the units were to need them, which they're not going to, they got the Vision Pulse. They're going to get Attack 5. They got the War Machine as well. And you still got the Lightning Strike just for 14 points. It's all they need.
Probably one of the biggest collapses we've ever seen here. If the units weren't able to close this out. Now, Mazer's still on the hill, but units know they can play a little bit of TDM style. Play for map control first, worry about the hill second. You've done the hard job, you bring yourself such a big lead. The Jet Li hasn't made things any easier. Team kill with the Hellstorm in the final 9 points coming through. Vision Pulse out. GG game 4. Units send us to a game 5.
And just a weird game 4 as well, or at least weird moments. Like, it started out, Mazer, by the time they got to the Lambeau Hill, we were watching like Mosh potentially playing for streaks. He was 200 off, but then everybody just stacked up inside Lambeau, and it really felt like they just walked units, or let them walk straight into the hill. Like, they're coming down rock, but no one from Mazer really got on top of Lambeau. Hetty posted up, put some shots in, staggered it. Its units had like the perfect break and just kind of walked straight in with like 0 pressure on the map from the opposition. And then as soon as that moment kind of crumbled from the side of Mazer, they had nothing going for them the rest of the game. It was Joe instantly got some streaks, had the Grass Slam early on to make the break to shut down the Tempest, and then of course Wee Man follows it straight up, and just a much better game 4 from one side and a very sloppy game, I think, from the side of Mazer.
Well, Joe's been the saving grace for units in the hard points, and units take both hard points. They force a game 5 search and destroy. We'll be right back after this with the game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Our first series of champs, and naturally it has to go to a game 5.
We have the best game 5 rate out of any other caster pair, and it is not close, Ben.
It's definitely not close, and well, if this is anything to go by, we could have a very, very long week ahead of us, gents. As units, Mazer, going the distance. And who can close it out? This is a pretty important series as a whole, because you kind of touched on it at the beginning. I think many people will look at this and say, well, the winner of this most likely goes through in second place of the pool.
Like almost 80% chance of that being the case. Yes, weird things could happen with FaZe or whoever else. Like, it can always be weird, but more than likely, right here, this game 5. I know it's the first match of the day for these two teams, but this is it. I mean, this is champs. You only get 3 to work with in pools. You got to make use of him. Rated, well, he gets that first blood, and you can see that bomb getting out of dodge. Kami's cleared out the A site, but maybe too aggressive. He's got a pistol battle up front. That's the entire team. He needs to drag one down with them. He does so. They keep the man advantage, and, well, Nolson hits the snipe anyway and gets a hit marker and just destroys them. So, yeah. No love lost.
Yeah, Nelson with the sniper rifle can pretty good talent. Again, units will take map number 1. Of course, a refresher for those of you just tuning in for game 2. It was Mazer that took that search and destroy. Pretty convincingly, to be honest, on Gridlock. This is by far and away the cleaner search and destroy team. Give Nelson a sniper, and he'll hit some shots.
And it's worth mentioning, though, that was Mazer's pick, right? They wanted the Gridlock map, too. This, of course, is going to be the unit. So this might turn into a series where there's kind of 2 storylines. One, Joe will be the saving grace from those plays on frequency he had in map 1, just to be able to help force the map 5 inevitable for the units to win. And that means Mazer, of course, choked it away. They had it in their hands. Or Mazer could just win the game 5, and they'll be like, we were the better team. One of the two.
We'll find out pretty shortly. As Nelson still searching for first blood, and Spacely overcommitted. It's bomb. I think he might. Teammates still holding strong. So read the situation pretty much perfectly. Oh, and I tell you what, Mosh is a very, very lucky man. Nelson, unfortunately, not find the kill, but did find the hit mark.
Of course, Mazer right now, they have 0 map control. They're going to be forced to take some bad gunfights. The stun, though, you got to get it out quick. It actually stuns from either side, but that's just going to draw even more time off the clock. You got Nolson with the sniper, has Rat back, and Wee Man's right next to him. The question is, can he get a pick before this man gets the bomb down? Kills get traded, but the bomb is planted. However,
Nelson is there over the top. It's 4v1, and well, Apox in no man's land. Just going to shut him down anyway. Units, comfortable round 1, comfortable round 2. Nelson 4-0. He'll surely take the defuse. Let's build up a little bit of time. Trophies, nades, etc. And then hop on that bomb. 225. Of course, as I said, he'll get the defuse and it'll put him even closer towards those streaks.
And the difference between Arsenal and Gridlock, we did not see a sniper on Gridlock. You can. You absolutely can snipe on the map, but I don't believe we saw, or I take that back. Nelson might have hit a clad, right?
Oh, no, he did, yeah. He hit a clad
outside 18,
2?
Very early on. But with the sniper, it seems that's been the backbone of their success in search and destroy, and obviously he just picked the other team. He picked Mazer apart, both rounds. You get the first blood, the bomb, instead of going to A like they wanted, now you got to wrap it all the way back across the map. By the time they do, well, Nolson's getting picks on that side of the map as well. Now just give him the bomb plant. And
now it's scary as well because you know how close he is towards those streaks. If you're on the side of Mazer, you just sat and watched him get the defuse. Doesn't take a mathematician to figure out. It's just 125 away.
That's a barrel.
Far. I respect it. I respect it.
I don't respect not giving him the bomb.
That was interesting, but we always have that discussion, right? With certain players, they would prefer to do it with just their weapon. Especially, you know, he's sniping. Doesn't want to change up his playstyle too much, looking for maybe a free pick. But you're absolutely right. You give him the bomb, he gets even closer towards streaks.
And then, of course, if you were able to get the bomb down at this site, he has been getting ripped off by hit markers as well. That's his third one of this game, at the very least. Maybe he hit even another one in the final round. But now 2 players challenging out. Mazer has been horrible at that, even in the control. It does not change in the search and destroy, but it all comes down to
this is his moment. This is his moment right here. Has to hit at least one shot. Both players there. He realizes it. Can he scramble away? You would assume if you're Mazer, you're going to try and hunt him down, knowing how close to streaks he is. Joe is going to have to assist pretty quick. Nelson finds one. 1v1, Mosh versus Joe. And Joe may have done enough just to play time. 18 seconds. Mosh is on the bomb. Joe's going to spot it, but he has to find a pick. Mosh hops off the bomb. 12 seconds. Ring around the rosy for a moment. Joe plays wide, gets the information, slides across. No time to defuse. Units go 3-0 up. But I believe Nelson will not earn those streaks.
Still, though, even for him to win that, like, well, not a gunfight. It was a fist fight. He beat the man down with the shot punch, but that's just another one of those situations where it seems like Nolson's in a bad spot. We saw a little bit of that out of control where he just pulls something out of the bag. I mean, again, yes, if he didn't get both streaks, that is unfortunate, but he wins the big gunfight to shut down the round, and that, again, how many times have we seen Mazer just trying to work back steps and they just go out one at a time? Their timing has not been good for these double challenges. Even getting picked apart.
The round they actually won in the control. When they still went out 1 by 1, it was only like a 10 life advantage, which dropped all the way down to basically even numbers. And challenging from back steps, as you said, not the cleanest, that's for sure. Those units now comfortable, but need to do the defensive work with the first. He's going to know that the reinforcements are likely to come flying at him. Luckily for him, his team is rotating. To your right, Joe, the number 3 on the minimap. The lone man at A, defending, waiting for anyone to push through. That's not like that push is ever going to come. So now Nelson, can you try and find some picks? Well, he's actually wrapped off the site. Maybe looking over towards mid-map now, where there is some pressure coming in from Mazer. A lot to look at here of your units.
Sammy tries to make a play. He gets picked off, and now Spacely tries to make a play on the back end. He was looking for 2, but Wee Man had the better gun for the job. So Mazer had themselves a potential opportunity that they squander as fast as they can. Now Barzilian has made move towards bomb, but Rated can feel it. He knows they're there, and he's just waiting for his teammates to flank. Yep. You got number 3, Joe. He's going to be going as quick as possible, and, well, frankly, the nade might just be good enough to get the kills, and it'll do just that.
Barzilian will fall in not even 3 seconds. Joe was quick, and that was very well played at the back, just to buy time. Obviously uses the nade. Almost a perfect bait, if you will. It's going to be 4-0 now to the units.
And I mean, Cammy with the next level strats. I mean, how many times have we seen on Gridlock? It feels like almost never. Someone plays the corner on bomb. Such an original idea. No one ever does that in every game ever, and Mazer just doesn't check it and sends one guy. Like, that's how that first blood happened. That's where the man advantage came from. The guy with the bomb just tried to walk towards site, ignoring the corner. Had no one on his team there to challenge with them. They just, like, I don't understand. It's champs. we're 9 months into the game. Like, oh, Ben.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you let things like that happen.
It's a rough round for sure. Great round if you're a Units fan.
An easy round.
Yeah. But we've already had one full sale here at Champs. Never over till it's over. Nelson still trying to be a threat with the sniper rifle. A couple of players actually over towards A, and Nelson's been unlucky with hit markers. Just to wait for the perfect shot. There it is. Not going to be able to take it though. They're making it hard, very hard. The problem is Nelson is the type of player who can hit those difficult shots.
They got map control as well. Nelson stays out alive, but yeah, Cal's gonna say Cammy got nice and close. They got pressure over towards the Jet. Joe is gonna fall. He just took out a trophy instead of a player. Now all of a sudden, well, Rated needs to back down, and pressure's on Nelson to hit a shot. You gotta stay alive, but now it looks like Mazer, they might just swarm. Final man is Nelson. It's only the RK7. He gets shut down. That is a nice defensive win coming out from Mazer. Obviously a round that they absolutely needed.
It's a round as well, which you thought really would have been over. You get the first 2 kills in a round, you're in a 5v3, and then all of a sudden, Barzilian, the assistance of Spacely there, just retake full control of a statue and managed to cherry pick the first kill into Rated. Nelson falls as well. And, a good executed retake right there.
I think it seemed like the Units got ahead of themselves. Like Joe took a gunfight against the trophy system. I'm assuming his teammates were calling out like, hey, they got a trophy down. Can we get rid of it so I can throw mine in or use a concussion, whatever it was. And so Joe was focused on that instead of being able to play his life or playing around the first 2 picks that they had. So again, maybe a small missed opportunity. But Units definitely have a very nice cushion this game. They got a couple rounds they can play with.
Mazer back on the attack. Pressure mid-map. Read it. Honestly, he might get challenged from the left. He's careful. Teammate is there to support. Both players get stunned, but Jet Li, not sure what the game plan was there. Tries to slide out. He will fall. However, Barzilian and Spacely both managed to find some trades. 4 versus 3. It's Rated forced to back all the way up over towards the steps. Making its way back over towards the A site. These are actually at a decent spot this round.
Bomb's gonna get planted. It's a 2-man retake from one side. Cammy's gonna be going on the flank, but he's here. He's only got a SOG, and well, the entire team effectively of Mazer is gonna deal with them. Of course, that means his teammates get pressure over towards the bomb, but just dealt with in short order and Rated. Well, he's gonna have to take a tumble off the map. 2 rounds in a row now. Okay, that Mazer's able to lock down, get a little bit of momentum. As soon as Nelson stops getting all those snipes, he was picking up the first couple rounds, the openings are there.
Not scary yet. You win another round and it might start getting scary. Still, a big advantage though for the Units. A couple of rounds. There's their cushion. Mazer, as you said, making things interesting. And Apox, both 2 and 6, 2 and 5. For them to try and turn things around. On the flip side, it's been great performance from Nelson and Cammy for the Units, and of course Nelson with that sniper rifle has been the threat the entire map. If you can deal with him, you might be able to deal with the Units.
Yeah, and they're just playing for picks right now. And of course, on the flip side, Mazer, they're just going for the full map spread. They don't have a ton of information yet. Now, of course, that is the siren call. Nelson takes the shot. Mazer, I'd imagine, will start to make a rotation, but actually they're not falling for the bait necessarily. They got maybe 1 man kind of trickling back, but they got a man watching lava. Yeah, they haven't fallen for the bait at all. Mazer, they're waiting for a little bit more information on the map.
Which edging to be. Stun didn't connect either, so the timing might be perfect here for Units.
I was going to say, Mazer's just straight up letting this bomb get planted. They haven't shown anything, despite the fact that they left 2 players at A. So now the information's there. The bomb gets planted, but for free. And you didn't put pressure on the man who planted the bomb. So now you got to make something crazy happen. And Nelson hit marker number 4.
Here's the fight, though. Cammy coming on the flank. 2 players in front of him. Finds one, almost found the second, but a flurry of trades come through. It's a 3 versus 3. Jet Li shuts down Weeman. Now it's a 2 versus 2 as Joe slides forward. He's done well just to play his life. Somehow Parzilian finds Nolson, and now the 1v1, 12 seconds on the clock. Joe pushes up, checks the defuse, finds the kill, wins the round. A well-executed round out of the units, 5-2. It was scary, it was chaotic, but Joe somehow gets away, and from that point on, it was always winning the round.
And man, like I don't know how I feel about like that play call as well.
I hate it. Giving up bomb completely and just
I mean,
no
not like I understand respecting the sniper. Nolson has hit a lot of shots, but they don't even start wrapping back until the bomb gets planted. Like they were completely stagnant, playing around nothing. And granted, it comes down to a 1v1, but now you've just taken too much time because you never wrapped back in the first place. There's been some strange things we have seen from this series thus far, but units will be incredibly happy to be able to take this first series out of the way. Nolson does not connect there, but, well, Mazer, pressure's on. They got 4 bodies over towards B. They don't have that site control yet, though.
Cammy not sit on the bomb this time, but Weeman will find himself a first blood. Nolson stays alive. He exits bait for his teammates. Cammy with 2. Nolson with another, and that is GG as Cammy walks through Mazer in that last round. A 6-2 Game 5 victory, and what many people consider the fight for the 2nd seed out of this group. Units will take it.
And that is just a story of pressure from either side. From the side of units, they got a lot of weight off of their shoulders. You get this map out of the way, or this match, I should say. I guess the unfortunate thing is that it goes to a Game 5 and every single map makes a difference should tiebreakers happen.
Sure.
But units, if they beat the 3rd seed. Now you beat the 4th seed, a team you're expecting them to beat. You're feeling good in spite of what happens in that FaZe series. And of course for Mazer, now it's looking very likely that they're going to need to beat FaZe to come out of the top 2. Of course, bar any crazy tiebreak situations, you never know what's going to happen, but a very big series for units to get on board.
A lot can still happen. Yes. There's a lot of crazy combinations, of course, but when you look at your predictions and you look at the realistic outcomes of what you expect, that was a very big victory for units on their fight for bracket play. Because, of course, if you don't finish in the top 2, well, see you later. That's your COD champs basically over at that point. And the top 2 teams will, of course, play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from each team or each pool and head into bracket play. So a lot of pressure on those kind of 2nd seed versus 3rd seed, even kind of 2nd versus 4th seed. You can't afford to slip up whatsoever, Chance.
Just ask Gen G. If you don't believe us, ask Gen G. Be like, hey guys, are you feeling more comfortable now or maybe an hour ago? Because Fuego, again, just a dagger of a first game in Group B to shake things up as much as possible. Of course, Celtic was able to pull off an upstate as well, taking down Elevate. So there's a couple Pro League teams that are feeling a ton of pressure right now.
There sure is.
And it's only Wednesday.
Sure is. Of course, units will join FaZe at the top of Group C. FaZe will remain #1 after a 3-1 victory. So that's how Pool C is kind of started to shape up. But that's everything from myself and Chance for now. We'll be back after this quick break with more games here from Call of Duty World Championship.